The breakup is often the blessing. My first marriage was not her fault. It was my fault. I was married too young. I shouldn't have been nobody's husband. I learned so much from that. What you see is a direct result of a divorce and then finding that soulmate, locating that one person that's just was made just for me. Just for me. Now, sometimes to get to the person that's just for you, you got to go through a couple battles. You can be in love with the wrong person. Everybody in here done been with somebody they ain't had no damn business being with.
How you gonna get, gang? So, in today's video, I want to talk about Steve Harvey. Like, the online world blown up over Steve Harvey because as most of you know by now that Steve Harvey's wife is caught sleeping with the bodyguard, and now he's looking to file for divorce, and it's a whole messy issue. So let's get into it. Now, Steve Harvey, it was rough. I mean, Steve Harvey, early out had it rough, man. This guy had to, grind to get to the top. Been to 2 prior marriages. Sleepless at one point. I think he slept in his car for about 3 years, and finally got his break in the sitcom. I mean, the stand-up comedy, and he starts off there. In the 90s, he had a sitcom show that was going on. I don't remember the name of that show. He had that going on, and then after that, he went back to comedy. I think he did the Three Kings comedy tour. I mean, it was him and Bernie Mac and Hugh Douglas, something to that fact. The 3 of them, I think, called the Kings of Comedy, and they went on a tour and they did that for a bit. Then he disappeared for a little bit, and then he popped up on that game show that everybody know, Family Feud. Did that for a while. He got fired from Family Feud. Then he started his own show where he was talking about anything from relationship to being a motivational speaker. So this man has been doing a lot, and he went through the struggles, and he came up, and then, like I said, he married Marjorie, man, he treats this woman like she's gold. Like he took her everywhere. She was on his show at one point. I mean, he really loved that woman and really adored her. But sometimes being an high value man, there can be a price to pay, because when you're a high value man, you're busy. You got so much things going on, and that was the situation with Steve. He had so much things going on that he didn't have time to pay attention to his wife, and he thought that his wife was solid. He didn't have to worry about her. She was not going to do him dirty. But unfortunately, she hooked up the bodyguard. And one thing I heard a while back, and it was primarily from about middle-aged white women, and they were saying that, no matter what you never do as a wife married to a rich man, you never fuck the help, right? That was the saying. You never sleep with the help, because if you sleep with the help and the guy find out, or your husband find out, he's cutting you off, and then you can stand to lose everything, right? Now, Marjorie broke 2 rules that, I guess most modern women are saying today. 2 rules she broke. The first one is she fucked the help. Bad move. Second move is, they say that women are hypergamous. They date up, they don't date down. Well, Marjorie went down, and she went down on the help, right? So she sleep with the help, who's obviously can't be making much more money than Steve, because probably Steve hired the guy, right? So the 2 rules she broke was she fucked the help, and then she went down, and she dated down into a guy that is not in the same position as her husband, right? And for Steve now, he becomes a laughing stock, because when you as a guy come out as a relationship expert and a relationship coach, everybody would think that things are okay at home, right? But unfortunately for Steve, his wife was behind his back screwing around, and then he really found out. And when Tasha K, one of YouTuber that does a lot of online content creation, she had an interview with the guy that was with Marjorie, and he tells a story about Marjorie that we didn't know, right? Because him and Marjorie were dating when Marjorie was 18, and he was in his 30s, and he was married at the time. He was a drug dealer, right? And what happened was, she didn't know he was married, right? And but she found out that he was married, she came off birth control, got pregnant for him, and then had him leave his wife, which he actually left his wife, and he and her ended up together. And then, you know, something went down because he was a drug dealer, he get caught, and then he found out that Marjorie too was doing dirt. And he said, you know, I will shoulder, I take the brunt of everything to let you off. He cut a deal, they gave him life sentence, and I think he get out in 20-something years. After that, they released him. And he was telling a completely different story about Marjorie, that this woman is not speaking clean as everybody thought. And now we see how everything is unfolding with her and Steve. They pretty much spent the tail. And the thing is, when you're a guy in a position that Steve is in, you want to make sure that you have to make sure who you're picking. And Steve Harvey has a reputation of being a guy that marriage doesn't work for him. So the advice of Steve Harvey is, man, quit getting married, man. It doesn't work for you. It's not for everybody. And he's finding out the hard way now that not because I know you're at a certain age, you want to settle down with a wife, but bro, if it's not been working out for you, then it's not going to work out for you now, right? And maybe that's karma for what you did with your first wife, because I heard that he left her with those 3 kids, and he didn't want to pay child support, right? And then his second wife, when at the end of that relationship, close to the end of the second wife, he was dealing with Marjorie. So he left the second wife to go get with Marjorie. So that's pretty much karma on your plate right there. So my advice to Steve Harvey is, don't get married. Stay a single man and live your life, bro, because it's not working out for you. It's not for everybody. And I've told a lot of single women on my channel that, you know, listen, most of you ain't wife material, right? It's not for you. And for Steve, you're not hubby material, bro. It's time for you to face the facts that it's not working out for you. And at the kick in the balls, now she wants $200 million. And she wasn't there building the empire with Steve Harvey. She came along for the ride, maybe halfway through, and now she wants $200 million to bail out of that marriage. So we're gonna see how that's gonna happen. But Steve Harvey, like they said, you make your bed, you sleep in it. So buddy, I tell you right now, man, nighty night, sleep well, and when the bed bug and the cheating bugs start biting, you're gonna have to deal with it, because you didn't take the time to realize who you're dealing with, and as a result, you know, your wife was screwing out on you, and now you're pissed, and now you're mad, and now you're going to have to file for divorce. And this is the third time, the third wife that you have to call it quits on that, right? So that's karma for you, and that's a lesson for you to say, you know what, maybe you need to take some time, or just take marriage take it off the plate completely. All right. So that's what I want to say on this video. If you have any comments, drop in the comment section below. Let me hear your thoughts. And subscribe to the channel Masculine Revolution. Until next time, see you in the next video. And stay tuned to the end of this video. I always have a bonus clip for those who stay tuned. All right? See you then.
I just had a moment. That's mine right there. Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine. You understand me?